Hey coin collectors, and welcome to the Big D Coin Channel. It's DC on the Big D with some 1951 United States 1-cent coins, the Lincoln penny. Over here to the left we see a 1951 with no mint mark under it, and that's of course going to be the Philadelphia Mint. Here we see a 1951 with an S under it, and that's going to be the San Francisco Mint. And then way over here we see a 1951 with a D under it, and that of course is going to be the Denver Mint. All three of these mints made these coins for general circulation in 1951, and we're going to take a look at them one by one. This is the 1951 Philadelphia Mint coin. This is the one that you may have heard of at a heritage auction in 2006. One of these sold for $10,350 in an MS-67 level coin, mint state 67. At the top of it, it says "In God We Trust." Down here we see it says "Liberty Behind Lincoln," and you can see how these rims get smashed a little bit and dented. Now over here it says 1951. We see the bow tie, we see the coat, we see Lincoln facing to the right. This is of course a smooth edge coin. And when we get to the back, we see it's the wheat ears 1-cent coin. At Philadelphia in 1951, they made 295.6 million of these. PCGS estimates that there's probably still a couple million, maybe as many as 20 million of these still around. Not just the Philadelphia, but the Philadelphia, the San Francisco, and the Denver. So if you got 20 million of these pennies around, they're not going to be worth that much unless they're in good shape. And this one isn't. This one's in okay shape. It's probably worth about 40 cents. You can see the wheat ears very well here. E pluribus unum, 1 cent in the center. United States of America down here. Now, these coins, you'll still find them once in a while, but not as often because the back, of course, has been changed. We don't have the wheat ears on the back anymore, so when people see it, of course, they pull it out because this is the standard back of the coin now, the Lincoln Memorial cent. There are some coins from 1951 that you do often get in your change, and those are the nickels. And why is that? Well, until the last couple years, the nickels always looked the same, the front and the back. So when you, and this is definitely a pretty used one, but this is one you could get in your change. This again, this is another coin that has, in 1951, they had the mint marks on the back. So there's the S, 5 cents, United States of America, this Monticello. So you always look for nickels whenever you get them. Look for your pennies too, but all you need to do on your pennies is turn them over. The nickels, you actually have to look for the date. That's the Philadelphia one. Let's next look at the San Francisco one. So in 1951, San Francisco made regular coins that went out in general circulation. It wasn't a special coin making proposition. Now, I should say that in 1951 they did make some proof sets. They made 57,500 proof sets that cost about $2.10 at the time. And now they're worth almost $500. This is not from a proof set, but in 1951, the San Francisco Mint made 136 million of these. So they made a bunch of them. One of the things that you always look at on these coins to see what shape they're in is whether you can see the V, the D, and the B down here at the bottom under Lincoln, and that's for Victor David Brenner, the engraver. And you can see some dents down there right above the top of my pen, but you really can't see the V, the D, or the B. What does the V, the D, the B look like? Well, let's take one of these more modern ones and I'll show you. So if we get the light right on this, you can actually see the top of the V, top of the D, and top of the B here. And that's what it would look like if you could see it well, and that would make the coin a lot more valuable. Now there's one other mint that they made these at in 1951, and that of course is the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint, this one is really beat. You talk about getting these in your change. You see this greening here? That's what happens with copper. Remember, these are in 1951 still a brass coin, so about 95% copper, 5% zinc or tin, compared to the newer coins, which after 1982 were almost all zinc with a little bit of copper in them. And so when you won't get much greening on these, but sometimes you get these black spots where the zinc has worn off. So the 1951 Denver Mint, they made 625,355,000. This coin in a little bit better shape than this would be worth about 30 cents. In MS-65 would be worth between $8 and $10. And I should also say that this, you won't get this in a proof set. Instead, you got the Philadelphia in a proof set in 1951. So if you're looking for a proof 1951 Lincoln penny, that's going to be a Philadelphia. It's going to be worth about $80 minimum at proof set 65. And it could be worth a lot more because, again, as I said, that set itself is worth about 500. All right, well, that's our S, our D, and our plain P, no P on it, for the 1951 coins. We'd love to have you subscribe to the Big D Coin channel and leave any comments you might have in the comments section.